Today's video is part of my 12 Cookies of Christmas series 2023, where I explore the Christmas cookies of 12 different European countries. In today's video, I'm sharing with you a Swiss classic called Basler Brunsli. These are an almond flour and egg white based cookie flavored with melted chocolate and spices. If you've ever had German cinnamon stars or Zimtsterne, I find the texture to be very similar to that, but instead these are flavored with chocolate and coated with crunchy sugar. So join me today as I share with you the recipe and history of this Swiss cookie, and stick with me to the very end where I will give you a sneak peek of tomorrow's video. Let's get started. This recipe is really simple in that you only need a few ingredients. I'm beginning by grinding my own almonds in a food processor so that I can achieve a slightly coarser texture than the store-bought almond flour. If you do buy store-bought, however, look for the kind with the skin on, as that's what's traditionally used in these cookies. This is the texture I was going for. Now you're going to melt 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of dark chocolate. I just melted mine partially in the microwave and then stirred the rest of the unmelted chocolate into it to prevent overheating. If you let chocolate get too hot, it seizes. So now put 300 grams or 2 3/4 cup of ground almonds into a large bowl with 200 grams or 1 cup of sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Then whisk that together and add your melted chocolate and 2 egg whites. And sometimes Kirschwasser or cherry brandy is also added, so you could use a couple of tablespoons here if you'd like. Stir that all together to form a cohesive dough and then wrap it in plastic wrap and refrigerate for half an hour. Now roll small sections of it out at a time, and instead of flouring your surface, sprinkle it with sugar. This will prevent the dough from sticking as well as give it a crunchy sugar coating. These cookies should be rolled out pretty thick, about 1/2 inch or 1 1/4 centimeters thick. Some traditional shapes for cutting these out are stars and flowers, but of course you could use whatever you'd like. And here's a reminder to let your kids help you bake, especially at Christmas time. They'll always remember those memories and hopefully pass the recipes and experiences on to their children. While my kids cut the rest of the cookies out, I will share a little bit about the cookies' origins with you. These are likely from the Basel region of Switzerland, given their name, but they're now enjoyed all over the country and are one of the most popular cookies at Christmas time. The first known documented mention of the cookie is from 1725 in a description of a welcome meal for a pastor in Winterthur, Switzerland, where it was described that 5 pounds of Brunsli were served in the pastor's honor alongside 330 pounds of meat. He must have been pretty important for all of that food to be served in his honor. These are now associated with Christmas time, but they were also traditionally given at weddings as well, as they've been described as being included in wedding favors given to the guests at weddings at the end of the 19th and early 20th century. Apparently, it's been debated from the advent of the cookie which nut to use, whether almonds or hazelnuts, and whether to use cocoa powder versus bar chocolate, as well as should you use Kirschwasser or lemon juice. The recipe I'm giving you today contains melted chocolate because I felt that this gives the best flavor along with almonds, as that seems the most common in Switzerland today. Back to the cookies. Now you're going to bake them at 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. This is a very low temperature, and the idea is to dry them out rather than bake them. Then you're going to let them fully cool on a rack before serving. Let's try these. I really love these. These are very chocolatey and you can definitely taste the spices in there. And I love the crunchiness of the almonds and that chew from the egg white. And these happen to naturally be gluten and dairy free. So if you have any friends or family with those food restrictions, these would be a perfect cookie for them. But I love how pretty these are. They would make a perfect addition to a cookie platter, and the difference in texture from, say, a sugar cookie or a short crust cookie is very prominent, so it would be a nice variation to add to a Christmas cookie platter. Make sure to hit the notification bell on the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the other cookies in this series. And I will put the playlist to this series at the end of the video in case there are any that you may have missed already and you'd like to watch them. But I will see you tomorrow, and until then, here's a sneak peek of tomorrow's video.